Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over a 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport. This one has a lift tire setup and all that, and I know I've gone over a couple Gladiators with this setup, but the reason I wanted to go over this Jeep is to actually drive it so that I could give you guys driving impressions on a Gladiator that's lifted, so then you can kind of see the difference between what it would drive like stock versus lifted. But as always, we're going to do a quick walk around on the Jeep, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah. Their inventory will be in the description below. Check them out. Under the hood here, just like all of the other Gladiators, we have the naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6. This one's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. In terms of power outputs, it's going to be good for 260 pound-feet of torque and then 285 horsepower. And then I have heard rumors that they are going to be releasing this Jeep with the Eco Diesel motor, but I'm hearing that's going to be later availability, so potentially the end of this year or sometime next year, but no guarantees on that. This particular Gladiator is finished in billet silver metallic. We will get over the aftermarket accessories and the cost on those in just a moment, but let's kind of go over the front elements on this Sport. So just like all the other Sports, you're going to get the little turn signal indicators into the little fender flares right here, and then you've got your halogen lights. These are little hood latch releases that you saw earlier. Tow hooks on the bumper as well, and then Jeep's signature front end grille where you can kind of see the tires and everything through the front there, which is a pretty neat touch. But let's get into the aftermarket stuff on the sides, because that's what you're all interested in. So here's just the side angle, so you can kind of see the stance on the Gladiator. So this is a 2-inch lift, and then you can see in the suspension they've added the Fox shocks to make things a little bit crazier. Around the side here we've got these 17-inch rims, and around them we've got BFG KO2s. If you're wondering, on the wheels, they're XD 140 series wheels, and then there are rock rails you can see down the side of the Jeep as well. And then this does have a speedo recalibration, which obviously that would be on the interior, but this whole setup with the lift, tires, speed calibration, rock rails, all that kind of stuff with the shocks added is $5 grand total, so you can add this to any of the Gladiators. Here's the key fob on the Gladiator, so it's the same key fob just like all the other ones. It's got a little flip out key essentially, but you got a couple functions. You got your lock and unlock, and then you have your remote start function. So if you just press that twice, actually, first time we'll lock it and second time we'll start it right up, and you can hear that little 3.6 liter V6 come to life. It is pretty quiet. Press that again and that'll shut it off, and then if we unlock it here, we can pop over to the bed area actually, and you can see that this is all slow lowering for this area. Already does have a spray-in bed liner in this particular Gladiator. You can see the bed is pretty small, but I mean, this is in that kind of smaller size truck segment with the Tacoma, all that. This one has got LED bed lights into the truck bed as well. And then lifting up the bed, it's actually pretty light. The bottom is weighted a little bit, but once you get it up, it actually gets lighter, which is kind of strange. And then you can kind of see, especially with the lift setup that this Jeep has, kind of how it looks from the back angle. I think it looks really, really good. You've got the little Jeep logo there on the back, and then just like all of the other Gladiators, you've got your tow package here, and then you've got all of your plug-ins as well, and then you've got a couple more tow hooks, or not a couple more, just one more tow hook, sorry guys, right there. And then you have your incandescent taillights in the back since this is the Sport, and then here's a look at the tires through the back, and then you can see the whole under area as well. So opening up the back to the door here, we can see that we've got some padding here on the door, and then you've got the handle. It's just like in all the other Jeeps. There's a window sticker. We'll go over that in a minute. But here are your back seats. You can see this is the cover for the tops and all that, and then you can flip up these seats, so there's extra storage under the seats. Got some cup holders in this little kind of center console area for the back, and they've got your window controls. And then this does pull down if you need basically an extra little armrest back here essentially. But in terms of legroom, a little bit tight, but I mean, this is pretty regular for the truck segment. Coming around to the front, we can see that we've got more of that padding right here, and then here's that mirror setup, by the way, so you can see that. And then also Chrysler logo is conveniently put in the mirror. I didn't mean to do that, but anyways, you've got your lock and unlock controls right here again for the door handle, and then this is your mirror adjustment on the door. If we come over to the seats, you'll notice that this is all manually adjustable on the seats, full cloth on the seats. The bolsters are actually pretty nice in general. And then here is your pedal layout just down below, and then here's your light control, so automatic right there, and then you got your fog lights, and then your little cargo light that's in the back right over here. And then finally, finishing things off, the steering wheel is going to be manually adjustable. Now, stepping in with this lift that this has, it's still actually pretty easy to get in and out of the Gladiator, but to start it up, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, push the push start, and then the Jeep will start up. The gauges will do a little bit of a sweep. Now here's our cruise control on this side of the steering wheel. On the other side, these are the buttons that go over the center screen. We'll go over that in a minute. These are your voice command buttons with the Bluetooth buttons. It says Jeep in the center, and then you've got your contrasted stitching all throughout the steering wheel right there. Beautifully wrapped in leather. I cannot talk today, guys. And then over here you can see you've got your windshield wiper stock, and then over here you've got your little turn signal stock that also does the brights function as well. Now here's our gauge cluster on the Sport, and by Sport I mean Sport S, because this is a Sport S. But anyways, RPMs over on the left hand side. On the right hand side you've got your speedometer, and then right in the middle you have that digital speedometer, but you've got a couple different menus that you can scroll through on this. Pretty standard, most cars have this, that you can kind of see through the different little screens on it. Now here's our center screen in the Gladiator. You can see those buttons just flanking the screen, and then you do have the center touch screen, which is actually pretty easy to use in general. It doesn't have a whole lot of functions. They keep it pretty simple, so you're gonna be able to do like your texting, calling, and then you can do like your Bluetooth with your audio, all that kind of stuff. Gives you a little compass, but other than that, it's pretty simple. And then they've got analog buttons just down below. And then actually, I almost forgot, if we pop it into reverse, you can see the backup camera that pops up on the screen with the little trajectory lines, and then there is a zoom function on the receiver hitch with that screen, so hooking up to a trailer will be a whole lot easier. But popping from that screen, we can see the climate controls just down below here. So single zone climate in this Sport S. You do get heated seats and a heated steering wheel though. That's your off-road cruise control, stability control. That's to turn off the auto stop start that this has. And then under here you've got a bunch of little like USBs, and then these are your window controls. So there you go, and they are automatic. It looks like, wait, it looks like they're just one touch down. Sad. Anyways, we got another charging station right here, and now in this area we've got our shifter. So this is for the 8-speed automatic. You can shift the gears yourself if you want with that little mode right there. There are no paddle shifters, just the little rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel to control the radio stations. This is for the different drive modes. You can see you've got 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, and 4-wheel low. You got your traditional e-brake right here, couple cup holders right there. And I was told in my last Gladiator video that you're supposed to put the key here. This is not for your cell phone. Even though it's like convenient for a cell phone, this is just a key holder. Anyways, center console right here. And you can see that it's got storage on the top. By the way, it's not dirty. That's just what the rubber looks like. And then you can see there's another charging station in that little area. Grab handle on the Jeep as well. And then if we open this up, you can see that looks just like on the Wranglers with the little glove box. Now up top we have the convertible top that is just like on all of the other Jeeps, so you can just basically move these little things to take off this part like a T-top. The back you will need to use tools to get that part off, but it's pretty simple in general. And this part for sure one person could do. You could feasibly do the back with one person, but it's kind of a pain, so recommended to do it with at least 2 people on that. But yeah, pretty simple up top. There's really nothing else to look at. Now let's wrap things up with the interior on this Gladiator by going over pricing. So in terms of pricing, this Jeep is a Sport S, pretty fully loaded for a Sport S. Stickers for about $43,000. Like I said, those accessories are $5,000. So this particular one is going to be $48,000 with all of the add-ons that it has before any type of market adjustment. But that all being said, let's take out this lifted Gladiator Sport S to see how it drives. So let's talk about visibility before we set off in this lifted Gladiator, because I'm sure that's why a lot of you are watching this video, to see how this kind of performs differently with the lift. But anyways, you can see visibility over the hood's unchanged with the lift, and it just makes visibility a little bit easier since this Jeep is higher off the ground with that 2-inch lift. You can see visibility throughout both of the mirrors, and then through the rear. It's pretty easy to see out of the Gladiator in general, but let's fully set off now. Now, setting off here in the 2020 Gladiator with the lift, I want to talk about road noise and ride quality first and foremost. So in terms of road noise, yes, definitely can hear a little bit more noise from those tires. That's expected. I mean, when you put 37s on a vehicle, it is going to make more noise. And then in terms of ride quality, it doesn't seem to be affected all that much. Like, this still actually rides really smooth. This might even be a little bit smoother than a stock one. It's pretty close, honestly. So ride quality doesn't suffer. It's just there's gonna be more road noise. And as you can see there, as I was taking some turns, the steering, there is some added vagueness that happens when you lift any type of vehicle. And so, yeah, that's something you have to expect. You're gonna have to turn the steering wheel quite a bit more to get any input from the vehicle. Now let's get an acceleration, which I know is not gonna be quick. Yeah, so Gladiators aren't quick to begin with, and add this 2-inch suspension lift on top of that, and 37s, and yeah, not a lot happens when you floor it, but that's okay because this is going to be great on the off-road. Yes, on-road it's going to kind of muddy things up a little bit, but it's not like terrible by any means. But I mean, if you're used to like a truck with a V8 or something like that, or I mean, just a stock Wrangler or Gladiator in general, yes, this does feel slower. Summing things up, if you want something that's going to be really capable on the off-road, not as capable as a Wrangler because it's a little bit longer wheelbase, but then you also want something that's going to have more added utility, so the truck bed that the Gladiators have, this is definitely a really cool build, and I love the look that this has with this tire and rim setup. I don't think you need to go crazy with the Gladiators. I've seen them lifted 4 inches, 6 inches, and I mean, it's cool looking, but I feel like it's overdoing it. And so I feel like this 2-inch lift with these 37s, I think that's a really good middle ground where the vehicle's still usable on a daily basis, but then it also looks really cool. Let me know what you guys think about that, but there's my thoughts. And there we have it, everyone, the 2020 Jeep Gladiator with a 2-inch lift. I absolutely love the look of Gladiators once people lift them. I think it has a really, really nice, clean look to it. But as always, if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought. And then again, a big shout out and thank you to Larry Schmiller, Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Gladiator. If you're on the market, check out their inventory below. I'll see all of you in that next video.